The history of tariffs in the United States, from the earliest days of the nation, tariffs have played a significant role in shaping the economic landscape of the United States. This presentation explores the evolution of tariffs in U.S. history, examining their impact on trade, industry, and the broader economy. Early American tariffs. Hamilton's vision. The U.S. adopted its first tariff in 1789, driven by Alexander Hamilton's vision for American industrial development. The Report on Manufactures advocated for tariffs to protect nascent industries from foreign competition. These early tariffs were intended to promote domestic manufacturing and contribute to national economic growth. However, tariffs also created tensions between the North and South. The South, primarily focused on agriculture, viewed tariffs as burdensome, while the North, with its growing manufacturing sector, saw them as protective and beneficial. This early clash foreshadowed future debates surrounding the role of tariffs in U.S. economic policy. The Tariff of Abominations and the Civil War escalating protectionism. The Tariff of 1828, known as the Tariff of Abominations, significantly increased rates and further fueled regional tensions. The South, already feeling the strain of the tariffs, denounced the legislation as a Northern conspiracy. This tariff, along with other economic and political conflicts, contributed to the growing divide between the North and South, ultimately leading to the Civil War. Economic fallout. The Civil War brought significant economic upheaval, including disruptions to trade and industrial production. Both sides utilized tariffs for wartime funding, further complicating the already tense economic landscape. While the war marked a temporary departure from tariff debates, its aftermath saw continued discussions about the role of protectionism in shaping the nation's economic destiny. Protectionism in the late 19th century. The McKinley Tariff. The McKinley Tariff of 1890, a landmark piece of legislation, raised tariffs to record highs. This move was primarily driven by the desire to protect American industries from growing foreign competition, particularly in the wake of the Industrial Revolution. This period marked a significant shift towards protectionism, as tariffs became a central pillar of U.S. economic policy. The Dingley Tariff. The Dingley Tariff of 1897, another high protectionist measure, further entrenched the U.S. in a protectionist stance. While these tariffs provided short-term benefits to domestic industries, they also contributed to rising consumer prices and hindered international trade. The debate over the balance between protectionism and free trade continued to rage on. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff and the Great Depression protectionist backlash. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, enacted in response to the Great Depression, was a drastic measure to protect American industries. It imposed significant tariffs on a wide range of goods, triggering a global trade war. This act, while initially intended to boost the domestic economy, ultimately exacerbated the Depression and fueled further economic decline. International repercussions. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act had profound international implications, as other countries retaliated with their own tariff increases. This tit-for-tat trade war significantly reduced global trade, leading to further economic hardship and prolonging the Depression. It underscored the interconnectedness of the global economy and the dangers of protectionist policies. Post-war trade liberalization and GATT. Following World War II, the U.S. embraced a more open trade policy. Recognizing the benefits of global economic cooperation, the U.S. played a leading role in establishing the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade in 1948. GATT aimed to reduce tariffs and other trade barriers, fostering international trade and promoting global economic growth. GATT's rounds of negotiations led to significant reductions in tariffs and trade barriers, fostering global trade and economic integration. This period marked a shift away from protectionism and towards a more open and interconnected global marketplace. The U.S., as a major trading nation, played a pivotal role in shaping this new world order. GATT's success paved the way for the establishment of the World Trade Organization in 1995. The WTO expanded upon GATT as framework, expanding its scope to address a wider range of trade issues, including intellectual property rights, services, and agriculture. This era witnessed the rise of a truly globalized trading system, with the U.S. at its forefront. The rise of modern trade agreements. The U.S., recognizing the importance of trade agreements in shaping global economic relationships, actively engaged in negotiating bilateral and multilateral trade agreements throughout the 20th and 21st centuries. These agreements aim to reduce tariffs, eliminate non-tariff barriers, and promote trade liberalization across various sectors. Notable agreements included the North American Free Trade Agreement, the Central American Free Trade Agreement, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. These agreements sought to establish free trade zones and promote economic integration among participating countries, further shaping the global trading landscape. These agreements, while beneficial in fostering trade and economic growth, also faced criticism. Some argued that they led to job losses in certain sectors, while others raised concerns about the impact on environmental regulations and labor standards. The debate over the benefits and drawbacks of trade agreements continues to this day. Current debates and the future of tariffs, national security tariffs, are increasingly used as a tool to protect national security, particularly for strategic industries like defense and technology. This approach aims to ensure the availability of vital goods and services within the country, even in times of crisis. However, it also raises concerns about potential trade conflicts and the impact on global economic stability. Economic growth. The impact of tariffs on economic growth remains a subject of debate. Some argue that tariffs protect domestic industries and jobs, while others contend that they lead to higher consumer prices and hinder economic competitiveness. Finding the right balance between protectionism and free trade is a critical challenge for policymakers. Globalization and trade wars. In the era of globalization, tariffs have become a key tool in trade negotiations and potential trade wars. The ongoing trade tensions between the U.S. and China highlight the complexities and challenges of navigating a globalized economy, where tariffs can be used as a bargaining chip in geopolitical struggles.